Alright, what is up? This is SLOplays, and I am back at it again with another Dragon Ball Sparking Zero DLC 4 Super Limit Breaking Neo video. Let's talk about everything that's confirmed in terms of Broly movie content. That's right, I know, kind of weird, we're going to specifically target the DBS Broly movie, but I mean, after those Legends reveals, I really wanted to talk about all the possibilities and new stuff that is confirmed to be coming, as well as what I hope will also be added, maybe not in this DLC, but in a future DLC or update, right? There's a lot of stuff from Broly that they kind of left out, and with a video game that has so much Broly movie influence and Broly movie, like, agenda being pushed for it, it really did miss out on a lot of stuff, right? They did okay, right? You know, obviously you have Broly and Gogeta as playable characters. Goku and Vegeta, they have some, you know, influence and techniques and animations that are based off the Broly movie. And the entire game is supposedly supposed to be, like, you know, based on the Shintani style of the art direction, I guess, but some things didn't work out, some things didn't look right, and yeah, I mean, it is what it is. I think the game is still very good and, you know, beautiful looking, so let's go ahead and jump into it. So the first thing that we need to go over is the fact that we are getting the new customization technique for Goku and Vegeta, and something that I noticed in both the trailers is that you can use it with, I guess, any outfit, right? Or, I mean, I'm assuming this is just a new, you know, customization technique that, you know, gets put on just specifically Goku. We kind of went over that. I don't know the specifics of it, but, I mean, the fact that there is one, you know, scene in the trailer, I think this is the very first trailer, the teaser one, he's wearing his full gi. Vegeta still comes in, though, with the attack, and he's battle damaged, okay? And that's the same case with the Limit Breaking Neo DLC trailer that we most recently got. But Goku in this one is completely battle damaged, right? He has no shirt on. So that is a little bit interesting, but I'm assuming it's just how it's going to look with battle damage. Like, it's going to be the same outfit in a sense, right? Normally, Goku has the, what is it, like Limit Breaking God Kamehameha or whatever. So this one would be the Gallic Kamehameha, and it's absolutely, it has to be, you know, an ultimate technique, right? So, yeah, that's being pushed as kind of the front of the DLC when it comes to customization techniques, so we're good on that, right? That was something that was missing in the base game that they never added for whatever reason, and they're finally getting it now, right? Next up, the biggest surprise that I haven't really gone over is Chilai. I think that's crazy, dog. We got Chilai playable before GT Goten. I know, I'm going to bring it up in every video. Don't take me too seriously with it, but this was a big surprise, and this is a big W, right? Sparking Zero is one of those games where they can pretty much add anyone, right? You know, we had Arale playable in the Tenkaichi games. You know, there's, what is it, General Blue or whatever, who's going to be added in this one. Like, you know, characters that were from the previous games that were kind of niche. They never really got much representation in Dragon Ball games. And when it comes to a Dragon Ball fighting game, it's a very hard task to, you know, fulfill because they don't really have a lot of material. And a lot of these characters don't fight. Like, some of these characters don't even fight, period, in the series, right? So they're going to be punching and kicking and beating your ass, right? Like a character like Pansy, for example, gets added and she fights, right? And, you know, the way that they get unique and creative with it is through their techniques. Usually characters like this have another character that comes in and assists them in a special attack, right? And, you know, in Chilai's case, she uses her gun, right? Her little, like, blaster, right? And one of her techniques is Lemo coming in and they do, like, a dual blast type of thing, right? So I'm assuming that's her ultimate, and that's really cool, right? It's different, it's unique, it's something that you're not getting in a lot of these Dragon Ball games. Like, you're only going to see stuff like this maybe in the mobile games, and that's it. Like, not even Xenoverse 2 got her playable, and we thought she was going to be playable, right? Because we were like, well, I mean, you know, she's added in the Legendary, or not Legendary, the Future Saga Chapter 3 DLC. They made a model for her and everything, and they never added her playable. So it's nice to finally see her playable in a fighting game, right? So that's the only character, you know, so far that's confirmed that is playable from Dragon Ball Super Broly right now, okay? Moving on, we do have, finally, another thing that should have been in the base game, the Bitter Tundra, or the Glacier stage, or the Arctic, whatever you want to call it, right? Lots of battle damage that you can do on this map, which is awesome. So, not sure if there's going to be a stage destruction on this one. We know that the planet Namek one does get stage destruction, and it pretty much looks like how Earth was whenever it was craters and the volcanoes and the Earth's core exploding and shit. That's pretty much the same thing. So I mean, I don't know if they're going to transition into that if they do have stage destruction via a ultimate blast. Don't know. Not a big deal if it's not in there to me. I'm just happy we're finally getting this map because it's a very iconic stage, and specifically again, the Broly movie, majority of it took place on this map in terms of like this area, right, that they were in. Now, let's talk about speculation, bro. Speculation, everyone's favorite. Predictions, what I'm hoping to see. Maybe not, again, added in this specific DLC, but it's not out of the question, eventually we'll see. I do think if we're getting Chilai playable, why not add in Paragus, right? He has a whole moveset that they added in Dragon Ball Legends literally today. He's out, right? And you can play as him now. He is a Saiyan. He can fight, right? We don't really see him fight in the movie, but, they gave him a moveset. He's obviously going to have techniques that are similar to Broly, right? He's going to have, green key colored techniques, right? So full power energy wave and all that stuff, basic stuff. He doesn't have any transformation, so it's a very easy thing to put a moveset together for him. Give him, again, full power energy wave, a little bit of a different, unique animation for that, in terms of how he starts it up and everything. They could give him a rush attack, right? Give him, obviously like generic shit for his Blast 1 techniques. And I think his ultimate could easily be a base form Broly coming in like he does in this, right? If you see from the gameplay, okay, in the actual trailer itself that they had for Dragon Ball Legends, that is such a perfect thing that they could add, okay? And it wouldn't be weird because, oh, well, Broly's already a playable character. Why would we need him to come in, right? I mean, there are other characters that have other characters that are playable come in through their techniques, like Caulifla has Kale, for example, or Goten and Trunks, have, each other that comes in, right? This is the same situation, but this would actually give us a way to see a base form Broly model, right? That comes in and does that rush. He goes, do it, Broly! Like, that's literally the ultimate attack, right? That he could do, and that was from the movie, right? Where he first starts up and dashes towards Vegeta, right? So that would be an awesome, thing that they could do, and I feel like there is a chance that he could be that one of those, remainder characters that they haven't revealed yet, but I could absolutely be wrong, and they just add some, like, generic shit that, probably nobody asked for, right? I'm not saying that Paragus is a popular character or a character that really many people are asking for, but the fact, again, that Chilai's getting in and not Paragus, right, who is pretty much the last new character that we don't have from the Broly movie other than Chilai, right? That's what I'm saying. Like, we're already getting Chilai, we're getting Lemo. I mean, who the fuck that other guy was, Barry or Sorbet, or I don't even know. There was some other guy that was part of the Frieza Force that nobody gave a fuck about. He ain't gonna be playable. Good. We don't need him playable, right? But yeah, this guy, yeah, add him in because, they can do some cool stuff with Broly coming in through an ultimate, and, we get a base form Broly model, right? Moving on here. I've gone over this a million times. I feel like there is a very high chance that they left these out just because they're so iconic. They are so iconic now. The Broly movie drip for Goku and Vegeta, and allow us to put that on the DBS versions of them and be able to transform with it. Oh my god, dude. My mouth would be watering. You know what I'm saying? Like, I would even go as far as to say, like, shit, do this outfit for what we have with the duo Gallic Kamehameha. It would be sick, right? So shout out to Shinai for creating these concepts. They look very nice. Look at that, dude. Like, it's perfect. And the same thing with Vegeta. The classic SAB outfit. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, these two, I feel like there's still a good chance we'll get them. If we don't, I will be disappointed because, like, even if we get them in the future, which, I'll be happy eventually, right? When we actually do get them. It's just crazy, again, that this is something that should have been in the base game that needs to be added ASAP. Like, this should be one of the top outfits that they need to be adding, over some of these other outfits, right? No hate to any of the other outfits. I'm glad we're getting them. They're really cool and everything, but, like, I would much rather have these two over. These are, like, top two along with Trunks' BoJack movie gi. So those three still have not been added yet. You know what I'm saying? All right, moving on here. Now, we're getting a little bit crazy. This is something that I don't see ever happening, but it would be really cool because the possibilities are pretty much endless. We do not have God Punisher for Gogeta, okay? And I'm talking about the start-up of God Punisher. We do have the Rainbow Blast as just a shot technique for Gogeta. Is it Gogeta Blue, I think, that has it? Yeah. Yeah, we don't have the version of it where he charges up 2 key spheres, dashes towards Broly, right? Jumps over him, does the animation where he shoots both of them, and then he does like a multi, barrage shot of those attacks that are just blowing Broly up before he does, the rainbow key sphere thing, right? The like final ending of it. So yeah, I was very surprised that I didn't see any iteration really of that in any of the Gogetas. Okay, from what I recall, Gogeta pretty much has everything from his base Super Saiyan and Super Saiyan Blue versions, right? But when it comes to Super Saiyan Blue Gogeta and why I think, a customization technique for that version of him specifically should be this as maybe the ultimate is because he had Meteor Explosion, okay, as one of his supers, and then I think Super Kamehameha, the one where he's trying to kill Broly with it. Those are the 2 final parts of his animations that he have in the movie, right? So that's great. I'm glad we got those. Those are, super iconic. And, I can understand why they left this one out because it's a pretty generic thing, but the animation itself has become an iconic thing that, people remember from the movie, okay? The charging it up and dashing towards him and jumping over, Broly and then shooting him with 2 blasts and then barrage of them and then ends off with what they have, which is just a shot, is kind of like, it would be cool if we could get that as another, thing that would kind of finalize pretty much what we would need for Gogeta. I think that's the last major animation and technique that we don't have, right? Even Xenoverse 2 has it, right? Xenoverse 2 was missing some other shit, right? But, we got that. Like, we didn't get that cool major big-ass Kamehameha that he does in the movie in Xenoverse 2, but we got everything else pretty much. Like, we finally got Meteor Explosion now, and we, initially, that was his ultimate for Gogeta Blue, was the God Punisher, you know what I'm saying? And we got both versions of it. We got the Xenoverse 2 version of it, and then we got the movie version of it, which is really cool. So, I would love that. I would love that if they could eventually add this. Don't need it anytime soon. This is one of those where it's like, okay, if they're kind of scraping the bottom of the barrel and they need some, new customization techniques, this would be a really good one, right? Last thing, they're not doing this. I don't see them doing this at all, but it would be really cool if we could finally get some added story mode content. Like, even if it's just, the Broly movie and maybe the superhero movie, I would be pretty happy with it, because those are just so major that we don't have. But there's lots of, content that they've left out. There's no GT, there's no DBZ movies, there's no Daima, right? OG Dragon Ball, none of that. And it's kind of, it's a bit of a letdown, but it's not, it's, to me, it's not a major deal. Like, I didn't buy this game for the story. The story mode is kind of ass anyways, right? The only good thing about the story mode are the what-if scenarios, right? So maybe they can do that instead, because it's like, I don't need to play, the story mode for Broly and the superhero. It would be nice because they don't really get much representation other than Xenoverse 2 right now, right? And even those kind of just barely touch on it, right? So I guess the only game we can really hope for is Kakarot to do it. But I don't know if or when they're ever going to do that. So Sparking Zero would be like our last hope with it. But again, I put this at the very end just because it's not a necessity, in my opinion. I feel like, they need to put more towards what makes Sparking / Tenkaichi good. And the story mode wasn't really that, in my opinion. I never really, wanted to buy the Tenkaichi game specifically just for the story. It was nice to have, but I wanted to just, play with my buddies or my, people in my family that, we would have battles and stuff. That was the fun part. Lots of characters, right? But yeah, it would be cool if we could get that eventually too. So that's going to be it for this video. Let me know your thoughts and opinions about everything that we are confirmed to be getting and what we could potentially see for the final parts of the Super Limit Breaking Neo DLC. Drop a like, subscribe here on the channel, ring my notification bell, and peace out.
This is Broly, and you are watching SLOplays. Make sure to subscribe, or else I'll destroy your entire planet.